Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, February 17th. It is 6:25 right now. Market's going to open in about 5 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and then we'll get started shortly. Sorry for the late start, guys. I was taking some pre-market trades, lost track of time, but we should be good to go. So I just got to update a couple things here. Looks good. Solid. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium group. All right. It's like people are on their way in right now. All right. All right, guys, so we'll get a few moments for people to make their way in. It's going to post this link on one more page, which is the Instagram. Then we should be good to go. So if you guys saw that trade that I took earlier, it was a momentum scalp entry. You can see it marked up right there on my 1 minute chart. It's just a quick entry. Nothing crazy. Sorry, it looks like about half of you guys are here. So good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, February 17th. Happy Friday. It's 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. So with that said, let's take a look at the chart real quick. So looking over here on the higher time frames, we currently have a bearish bias on the 1 hour, 30-minute. And that's about it, though. 10-minute over here is starting to shift to the upside. So there's no alignment with regard to trend here. We're starting to get a wick rejection here on the 1 hour too. So, this might be a initiation of a swing to the upside. So possible reversal to the upside happening, within the session here, but we will, we'll check and see where this ends up going. AJ, how's it going? Good morning. Glad to see you back on here for the training session. Hey, AR, how's it going? Morning. Morning, Shannon. Morning, Christian. Morning, Ben Hartwig. Morning, Shaka. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Martha. Morning, David. Morning, Peter. Morning, everybody, guys. So hopefully everyone had a pretty decent trading week so far. I don't think we had any losses this week. We had a couple wins, but it's been a pretty rocky week. We had wins on Monday. We had, I don't think, no trades on Tuesday that were official. I took trades, obviously, my speculative moves Wednesday as well. But just looking at official trades, there aren't really too many official trades this week. So market is now open, guys. This big spike to the downside. This is why I don't trade on open, because you start to get some crazy movement like this. So this is opening price. As you guys can see, there's no direction right now. So once we confirm the direction, we can start looking for an entry, but we'll just maximize the 1 minute first right now. Let me check the news. I don't think there was any news this morning, right? Friday, there was Canadian news. It was like light impact news at 5:30, and then we have news at 7. So 5:30, I'll just mark it up. It's not super important, but there was news. So news over here at 5:30. Yeah, it wasn't really anything out of the ordinary. And we have news over here at, I believe, 7, right? Yeah. So price dropping down right there. News coming up at 7. You guys can see the big spike here. This is pretty much just a clean chart. I'll leave this as a clean chart so that you guys can see the market direction. Opening price happened there. And then I'll mark up at 6:30. And then you can kind of just see where price goes from 6:30 to 8 to, I'd really identify direction here. So no direction right now, guys. I'll put the requirements for the official strategies up here. Again, I just want to remind you guys, because we get this question a lot. People are asking, well, yesterday, I think Parker was asking, why aren't we calling the speculative moves, because they are hitting, but the speculative moves are speculative because they're not official, right? The official strategies are only these 3 strategies right here. So that's the main reason why they're not being considered official entries. The reason why I'm doing that as well is because I want to show you guys the difference between an official entry and a speculative entry, right? Speculative entries are, they're just trades off speculation. That's the whole point of the name, speculation, right? Speculative, speculation. There's no official strategy based off them. And they're meant for like the more advanced traders, because typically once you become a more advanced trader, you're able to take trades just off your view of the chart, right? You don't really need a lot of things here. Like for me, for example, I don't really need all these indicators, but I use these indicators to show you guys, where price is going, because it's hard for me to really show you what's going on in my head without having these indicators on here. These indicators make everything so much easier for you guys to identify. So just a reminder, guys, these are the only official strategies. These are the only ones that we're going to be considering official as long as the requirements are met. And the red flags are checked as well. So these are the only ones that are going to be counted for the results. Obviously, there's going to be speculative moves here and there, but they're not going to be counted towards results. Just my profits, my personal profits, and everyone else's personal profits for the day. Here's some profits from Natasha. She locked in a total profit of 904 for the day. Straight wins, no losses. Nice work, Natasha. Yeah, she took that pre-market momentum scalp and momentum scalp failure. I took the momentum scalp on there. So like looking at my profits over here, these are my profits pre-market. I took this buy entry right here for a momentum scalp. There's a buy signal. It was bullish across all the time frames pre-market. Locked in 1,430 off my main account. This is my FTMO 400K. Here's my MFF number 1, 1,300, MFF number 2, 1,350, and my MFF number 3, 1,390. There's another entry right here. This was technically, or I don't know if it was a momentum scalp because I don't see it as a gold bar, but this right here was technically a momentum scalp and momentum scalp variation, but it didn't fit the criteria because of opening price right here. 1 second, guys. All right. So I think this was a momentum scalp entry right here, guys, and a momentum scalp variation, but there was a red flag right here. Obviously, price was at opening price, so not an entry that we could have taken, but it does meet the criteria here for hitting TP. So it's an entry following the strategies, but it's not an entry because of the red flags. But it's fine. We'll see where price ends up going as we continue to move along here. It's got to make sure price is away from these red flags. So strategies are right here. Red flags are right there. I'm going to go and open all the screens here so that we can confirm everything. So the first requirement for pretty much every strategy is identifying the overall trend, right? So looking over here on the 10-minute, it's not confirmed yet, but you can kind of assume that price is bullish, right? Because price is above the pivots, the trend meter is green, and the pivots are angling up. Same thing aligns with the 5-minute and the 1-minute here. Price over here is also above the pivots, trend meter is also green, and the pivots are angling to the upside. So with that said, we're obviously looking for buys here. First criteria for the strategy, since we have a momentum scalp that already came up, we're starting right back over. So the first strategy that we're looking to identify is a momentum scalp failure. In order to get that, we need a sell signal come up, right? So once we have that sell signal come up, we can identify a momentum scalp failure. And then once we identify that, we can look for momentum scalp variation. And then after that, a momentum scalp. Right now, we're pretty much just waiting for a sell signal to come up here. So let me go ahead and put the alerts so that we can follow the criteria. And we'll see where this, obviously ends up going. So it's got to give it a few moments here. There's a wick rejection off these pivots right here. So you already know what to possibly look for if you're looking for something like that. Speculative move possibly coming up here on the, obviously on the candle close. Candle's kind of big though, so I'm probably gonna hold off on this one specifically. Let's see where it ends up closing. I mean, it looks good though. It looks like price will continue to push up higher. So see what this pushes up to. All right, so there's no entries coming up yet, guys. What we're looking for next is we're looking for initially is we're looking for a sell signal. So once we get that sell signal there, it's going to provide the criteria for a momentum scalp failure. So let's go ahead and just maximize the 1 minute here. Look at this here. First criteria here is confirm overall trend. We already confirmed the overall trend here is bullish. Next, we need to confirm retracement momentum signal on the 1 minute. So we're looking for a sell signal to come up over here on the 1 minute. Once we have that, then we can look for volume below. If it's below average, then we can look for possible entry there. So we'll see where this goes. There's another wick rejection off the pivot right there too. So I think eventually price will push back up. It's just, it's a matter of time until it does. So realistically, it's got to wait for this to, obviously continue back up. Let's check the higher time frames real quick. All right, so we got another wick rejection right here on the 1 hour too. So as I was mentioning over here, guys, if this year closed, it has 20 minutes left on it. So it has a lot of time. It's not necessarily there yet. But if and when it does close, this is going to be the criteria for a possible swing to the upside, because the higher time frames are still bearish, but the lower time frames are currently bullish. So this is kind of indicating that, okay, price is trying to make its way back to the upside, but because obviously you can see that price is rejecting off, these time frames here. So it's attempting to make its way up, but we don't have a clear distinction as to like whether it's coming up just yet, like right now, or if it's going to come back up in 30 minutes or an hour from now. I think eventually it will come up, but there's no alignment here yet. So we had that pending sell signal right here on the 1, but it hasn't closed yet. So I'm just got to leave it as is for now. And so that's basically the first thing we're looking for. Once we get a sell signal here, we can start looking for momentum scalp failure. But until we have that, we're not going to have any type of entry available. Possible one coming up right here. Looks like price might be coming down to retest opening price. Sell signal close right there. There's technically a momentum scalp failure that came up at that point, but there's there's still no confirmation yet. So this here is a momentum scalp failure, guys. If you guys are looking to take it, it's currently running right now. I'm not taking it myself because I typically don't take the first entry. I look for the following entry that comes up after it. So there's, I think for this range here, you probably want to use a bigger one, 25.50, because there's so much movement right here. A lot of this movement happened due to, the pre-market push to the upside. So we want to be very careful about taking entries on an open because you get a lot of volatility here, but then the volatility starts to die down. So it looks like what price is probably doing, it's coming down to retest opening price, but then eventually it'll probably push up even higher. So, it's just a matter of time until that actually plays out, but we don't really have that yet, or at least not a confirmation for us to really follow. So just got to watch it over here, see where price ends up going. Today's Friday, so just keep that in mind. Friday is one of the riskier days to trade. Typically Friday and Mondays are the riskier days to trade. So you want to be careful taking any entries on these specific days because you're going to get a lot of this uncertain movement, right? Price going back and forth. There's no specific direction as to where price is really going yet. Here we go. As price came down and tested, we don't know if this is going to be a correction back to the downside or if this is going to be a full-on, obvious reversal. So we'll just sit tight and wait. I'm not in this position though, so just a reminder, guys. I typically don't take the first one here, the momentum scalp failure. In order for me to take an entry, I'm waiting for price to come back above here and close above the pivots. If it pushes up and closes above the pivots, then that's going to be a momentum scalp variation. And then from that point, I'll be looking for possible entry there to continue riding it up. But for this specific one right here, guys, I'm not in this position. So just an FYI. I'm going to go and take this off because I don't want you guys to think that I'm in it and hop into this trade. I'm going to set an alert there though. So this is for the momentum scalp failure. But I'm not in this position. So if you guys have been around for a while, or if you guys, already know the drill, I don't typically take this initial entry here. I'll wait for this to come back up. Looks like it's coming back up right now. There it goes. It pushes up super heavy. If it closes above here, this is a momentum scalp variation entry. See where it's at. There we go. Momentum scalp variation entry. So I'm in this position right here, guys. Let me see where I'm at. I gotta see if I gotta adjust my TP stop loss from where it's currently at, but I think the 1030 is okay because the volatility here is not necessarily. Let's see where it's currently at. Okay, so this is at a red flag actually. So this is kind of an issue right here because this is a red flag. I initially entered with the 25-50 split, but because I already had my setup from earlier because the volume was high. So I'm currently in for a 25-50 right here, but I think if price pushes up higher, I might be moving my stop loss up a little higher because it's currently at the, I mean, I didn't realize it was touching the opening price right here. So that's my bad. It kind of moved super fast. It came down, touched the opening price, and then it pushed up. Opening price right here is one of the red flags. So red flags over here, when to avoid trades. Technically, we're supposed to avoid it when price is near opening price. So that's my mistake. Sorry, guys. I didn't see the opening price right there. And the market volatility here is just a little high. At where it's currently at. So I'm going to wait for it to push up a little bit. This is my setup right now, but if it pushes up a little higher, I'm probably going to be moving my stop loss in profit, or I might just move my TP a little closer because it's just, it's too close to like where I want it to be at right now. The volume here is kind of just all over the place. It's, yeah, Nick over here said he took profit right away. He didn't like the movement. He's in profit 185. Yeah, this is a bad trade. So if I eat the loss here, it's completely fine. It was at the opening price. I totally missed that right there. The wick was touching it. Looks like I'm gonna have to eat this L. Fuck. It's all good. Oh, I'm still in the position now. So I'm still in it. It's pushing back up. But whatever. It's okay. Whatever happens, happens. I just got to take it as is. This is my mistake. I should have looked at it closer, but it was literally touching the opening price right here. Still in the position right now. Hopefully it just swings all the way back up and I can probably pull out right there when it comes back up. Nah, it triggered my stop loss. So I'm taking this as a loss, guys. This right here was a loss. Let me go and just take this off because, yeah. So unfortunately, we ate a loss right here, guys, on the momentum scalp variation. This was my fault though. So I'm sorry, guys, for my mistake. I didn't realize that it was touching the open price right there. I should have skipped it, but this thing happened a little too quickly. So let me go over here real quick. Take a screenshot on this. Fortunately, scalp variation entry is the fact price was touching the opening price and validated the trade. Flag. Yeah, I should have pulled out earlier, like with what Nick did, but the thought I was going to push up at least a little bit to get me out so I could just pull out and profit, but it's all good. It happens. You guys can see how crazy the market's moving right here. Here's a clean chart. As you guys can see again today, there's no direction. Price is pretty much pushing up and then pushing right back down below. So here's the, yeah, I should have just held off, but it's all good. No point in getting stuck on that trade there. Yeah, because you guys can see right here. So there's some crazy movement here on open from the bottom and the top, but realistically, price isn't really going anywhere. This blue line right here is opening price. This is a clean chart. You can see price faked out below, faked out above, faked out below, and now it's right back to where it was originally. So price is technically where it's at. It didn't really move too much. This blue line is where market opened. You know, if you're just measuring it from where it's currently at, it hasn't even moved at least 100 pips in either direction. It's just right down the middle. The movement today is it's kind of off with regard to volatility because it's going back and forth. Like you guys can see right here, it's just bouncing back and forth from where it's currently at. But this trade should have been avoided. It was my mistake. So sorry guys if you guys took that trade, but you know, just eat the loss, move on to the next one, and then you can bounce back from it. So let's see what we got over here. Nick's asking if I'm done for the day. Possibly. I mean, we'll see if we find a good entry, Nick, but if we don't see anything good, I'm not going to force anything, right? This trade right here was kind of forced. I should have waited on it because for one, the candle was big. And then for two, you know, I didn't really look at it fully. Yeah, this candle was like a 300 pip candle. So like that's another red flag right there. So if you guys look at the red flags again over here, this candle spiked up super quickly and I was trying to enter it when it was above here, but at the last second, it spiked right back down, right? So for the red flags over here, one of the red flags is to avoid the trade when the candle prior to entry is too large. So that candle was a little big. And then second, when price is near opening price, which obviously it was touching. Let's see. Oh, it's unfortunate. Maria said that she lost her challenge because yesterday she took a loss due to her internet lagging. Wait, so how much did you lose, Maria? You must have been down like a lot then, because you should only be risking about like, you know, less than 3% per trade. So, I mean, depending on like where you were, you're probably already in drawdown. 15 lots. Is that the proper lot size for a, I don't know what a 25K account is. So let's see, I'm using a, well, I was using 200K. I'm using a 400K account. So my risk right now is actually a lot less. I'm risking like less than 1% per trade because I'm on a 400K account. So for me personally, obviously I'm taking a lot less, but on a 200K, I would be using 100 divided by 2. That would be 50 for a 100K account divided by 2. That'd be 25 for a 50K account. I think the math is right here, right? Yeah, divided by 2. So I think you were using too big of a lot size, Maria, using a 15 lot. because on the 200K, I'd be using 100, 100K, I'd be using 50. Yeah. So I think you're over leveraging a bit, Maria. I mean, it's fine, you know, if you're okay with the risk, but you should probably be using a lot less. You know, 12.5 probably should have been your lot size. I think I even put that in the course. I don't know if you even looked at the course, but there's a whole module there with regard to your lot sizing. Anyways, back to the charts, guys. There's nothing for us to take right now. Price might be shifting back down. So if price is shifting back down now, we may be able to look for possible sells here. So we'll see. I mean, if price shifts down and then we have a sell bias now, then, you know, maybe we'll be looking for sells. But at the moment right now, things are kind of just going sideways. So looking over here at the 5-minute prices, obviously in between the pivots, 10-minute as well. So 5 and 10 prices in between the pivots. The 1 minute right here, price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Trend meter is still green on the 5, but I mean, we'll just have to wait and see where price ends up going. There is a news price down below right here. It's a 530 news. Price came down and tested it. Might come back down for another retest of it. Yeah, it's got to follow through and see where this ends up going. Man, so let's see if there's anything good here. So here's Nick's profit so far. Nick's up 185 for the day. Nice work, Nick. Solid profits right there. Okay, cool. So Maria, her account's still fine. She actually didn't blow the account. She's still on it. Here, let me see what what stop loss are you using, Maria? Are you using a 500 or a 300? Because if you're using that's also going to, you know, determine what your lot size should be. All right, let me just check. So if you're trading a $25,000 account times 3%, you should be risking 750 per trade. That's 3% risk at max. So if you're using a 15 lot, I mean, you're actually not doing so horrible. Yeah, you're actually okay. Because if you're using a 15 lot, you're going to be using a total 3% risk. I mean, you should probably be using less than a 3% risk. This is the max that you should be risking. But your lot size is okay. It's okay, but you're kind of pushing it because you're like literally at the limit at that 3% mark. If you're using a 12.5, you'd be well below it. You'd be at 625. So you'd be a little less. But, you know, it's up to preference. If you like using a 15, then just keep using the 15. If that's been working for you, then great. But if your problem is, you know, getting too close to your max daily loss, then you might want to lower your lot size a bit. Because you never want to be close. You never want to be near it. You want to make sure that whenever you're taking a trade that your max daily loss, you're so far from it that you're never going to actually get caught in it. All right, so price is dropping down below, guys. If this is the case, we might be shifting to a sell, which is fine because we're already looking for a sell here with regard to the so the 1 hour here, the wick on the bottom never closed. We have a wick on top now. We also have a wick on top on the 30. So I think the sell is over here and the 10. Sells might be in control for today. So yeah, we have wick rejection over here on pretty much every time frame. We have a top wick rejection off the 10, top wick rejection off the 5. This is basically a confirmation that price is going to continue back below. This 1 hour here is going to close in the next 4 minutes. So I think we're definitely looking for sells today. We just got faked out in the beginning with that buy earlier over here. But it looks realistic. It looks like realistically price was coming, you know, to the downside. Yeah, Maria said that she lost 897. Yeah, so that's, I don't know what happened with yours. That's a lot of slippage, Maria. I'm not sure if like, I mean, I personally, I don't know what even happened, because if you're using a 15 lot, the most you should have lost would have been 750. If you lost 897, that's a big like difference, right? You're losing an extra couple $100, and like that's normal for me on a 100 lot, but on a 15 lot, the slippage on that, I don't know what happened. Like either you entered late or maybe use a different lots. I don't know. I don't really have an explanation, because the slippage on for that much. So let's see. You lost, or you're supposed to lose you were supposed to lose 750, but you lost 897. So that's $147 slippage, which is not normal, not for your lot size. This is an okay slippage for my account because I'm taking 100 lots, but I'm taking like 85 more lots than you, right? So it makes sense for me to lose this much with regard to slippage. For you, you should have been in slippage maybe a couple bucks, like maybe 10 or $20. But I don't know what you did there to get this much slippage, because I don't think price spiked at all. Not to a point where it would hit your stop loss. Like for me here, when price came down and hit my stop loss, it just touched it, right? And then it came back up. Yeah, it touched it like right here, I think, and it came back up. Yeah, it might be your internet connection, Maria. I don't think it's the slippage. I think your internet connection might be slowing down your entry, and then it might be causing it to exit late too, enter late and exit late. All right, so let's see where we're at right here. Let's see, I just saw a message from Kevin. Yeah, Kevin said the Fed member spoke this morning, didn't have anything good to say, and it's Friday, plus market structure and price actions all lining up for sells. Yeah, no, I mean, it's starting to line up for sells too, in my opinion. It's just it's just earlier this morning it was pushing up. So, you know, with us scalping here, we're looking for a certain direction. But I mean, the sells are lining up here now. So yeah, exactly. Decent morning fake out to keep you on your toes. Yeah, no, that happens. I mean, we kind of anticipated Friday to be weird anyway. So like whenever like this morning, I mentioned Fridays and Mondays are like the riskier days, because you get a lot of this like random volatility. I wouldn't recommend entering any trades right here, guys. We have news coming up at 7 in the next 2 minutes. So I'm just sitting tight, waiting for this news to pass. And then we'll see if price ends up coming back up or if it stays down below. Because I wouldn't be surprised if price corrects back up, goes back to opening price from here. All right. So we'll see what happens in the next couple minutes once, you know, news plays out. I mean, there's technically a momentum scalp failure again right here, guys. There's a buy signal. Price is coming back down, but it's right at news price. So obviously we're gonna have to sit tight and wait. But I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes up and retests the opening price right there. Yeah, it looks like your internet connection might be the issue, Maria, because Maria over here mentioned that her trade was placed at it was placed 9 seconds later. So it seems like it might be your internet connection, Maria, because it looks like you should have it should have executed, but then probably after you clicked it, it entered late. That's why your loss was a lot more than it should have been. Your entry and exit probably both of them were like kind of off. Then I got like dog fur all over. There we go. My dog's fur is all over my face. Thought I was seeing things. Let me scroll up real quick. I think that's it for right now, guys. We're still waiting for, okay, here's news. So we got the news candle right here. Let's see how price reacts to the news. I'm going to go and mark up news price right there. All right, so we got news right here. Price again is pushing right back up. So this is why I don't really get stuck to one position, right? So like what Kevin mentioned over here in the YouTube is that like he's looking for a sell. It was looking like a sell earlier, but look where price is pushing right back up to, right? It's pushing all the way back up. So for me personally, this is why I don't get stuck to one position here. I don't get stuck to only buys or only sells. I wait and I see what the market shows me. Right now, at the moment, price is pushing right back up. So it's definitely not looking like a sell to me at the moment, specifically. Just right now, at least. The wick rejections here are pretty much invalidated because price is now back above. There we go. As price pushes all the way back up. Beats by Boros asking, what pair is this? This is US30. YM is the actual asset though. So US30 is a copy of YM. YM is a future. This is the direct exchange data. So to get this data YM, you have to pay for it. It's the data that's directly from the Chicago Board of Trade. But it's technically US30. It's US30, but this is like the most accurate data that you can get regarding US30. US30 copies this data. So if you want it straight from the source, this is what it'd be from, YM. And that's why I pay for it, because since we're scalping, speed is of the essence. Like you have to have the highest data, the most accurate data, and the best tools available to really scalp properly. So that's why I use YM for me personally. It's the same thing though. It's pretty much the same movement. It's just pricing will be different because you get the raw pricing on here. Brokers will set their own pricing, so that's different across each broker. Yeah, Ben Hartwig said wild day. You can see where price is going. Here's a clean chart again, guys. So you see where I marked it up right here. I already anticipated this to happen. Price is just going back and forth. There's no clear direction here. So you guys can see here from my clean markup, I drew the high here and the low down here. And price just keeps going back and forth from these areas. So, as I mentioned before, guys, just be patient. With your entries here, you guys just have to wait for this to actually choose a direction. It's been like this pretty much all week. So, most of you guys have noticed it. It's been like this pretty much all week. Friday or Monday was smooth. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday was pretty much going sideways like this back and forth. And then today, of course, it's going sideways again. It's been like this pretty much all month, which is kind of annoying because February is typically a directional month. So let's see a couple more profits here from Natasha from earlier. She's coming back from that loss earlier. She's bouncing right back. So nice recovery right there. Not there yet, but almost there. Larishna over here is currently at 472 for the day. Nice work, Larishna. Solid profits there. And then CSUK over here is currently up 2,484. Nice work, CSUK. Yeah, and this thing's pushing up like crazy. So hopefully you're not in a sell right now, Kevin, because I know you were talking about how you were only looking for sells. This thing just pushed up like within the last couple minutes. Hopefully you weren't like in anything, because I could see a couple possible, like I could see an entry over here that you might have been looking into, because I would have been looking into it too. So like, for example, right here, I think this is an area where I could see you possibly entering a sell, and only because I was probably looking at it, for an entry right there too. So hopefully you didn't enter a sell, because if you entered a sell at that point, you'd be in some massive drawdown right now. Price pushed up like 1,000 pips already. Yeah, I think pushed up right there. Okay, cool. So you're in with some buys. Nice. Yeah, Glenn said be careful with FOMO. Yeah, same here, guys. Like exactly what Glenn just mentioned. Like I'm not looking to take any trades right now. So yeah, don't get any FOMO right here just because prices, going back and forth over here. Yeah, no, definitely, yeah. Kevin said he trades both ways. Yeah, no, same here. No, because like earlier you were mentioning that you were only looking for sells. That's why I was like, okay, hopefully he's not in any of these sells here, because you sound like you were pretty set on sells for today. But no, good thing that you didn't hop into those and you just waited for the market to move around. Let me clean this up a little bit. Let me see if there's anything here. Some more profits from Seth. Let's see. Seth over here is currently up. Damn, Seth's killing it. So he's up 26,244 for the day. Big wins over here in both directions. So solid work right there, Seth. Nice work right there. All right, so price is back above over here. Let me just see where we're currently at. I mean, there's no direction here, guys. Looking over here at the clean chart, price is back at this top area. This might be a double top, but still no direction here. Yeah, 10 minutes still sitting. 5 minutes still sitting. 1 minute over here is not really doing anything. I mean, it's pushing up, but it's not really, I mean, we'll see if it holds or if it comes back down. But we need a direction. So basically, in order for us to have any other entries here, guys, we need to confirm an overall trend, right? We don't have an overall trend here because price keeps going back and forth. Price will be up, then it'll be down, then it'll be up. It's back up right now on the 10. But there's just nothing for us to really confirm here. So we just got to wait for something here to confirm. Once it confirms the direction, we can start looking for entries. But, you know, as I mentioned, today is Friday, so I'm not going to force anything here. Force anything like I forced this one over here. It seems like every time we lose a trade, it's always like a stupid mistake, right? There's never a loss where we take and it's like following the strategy to a T. Like this one over here was because obviously the red flag. If I would have just avoided the red flag, would have been all right. But yeah, just got to take it easy and really fully analyze the trade before hopping in. Let's see, question from Christian. Christian's asking, Sean, on my 10-minute chart, that wick to the upside touched a New York session low. See, Christian sent me a picture. Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, so if I turn on my sessions over here, it should show that as well. Yeah, no, same thing that you identified right there, Christian. I mean, it's not really relevant to us because we're not using the 10-minute for entry. The sessions are like more important on the 1 minute because that's where we're making our entries, right? Unless you're trading on the 10, then okay, yeah, use that as a marker for you, but it wouldn't matter because here on the 1 minute, it's still going to be around the same area. Or I don't even know where it's at over here. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what's up with my sessions here. I think because the candle here was a little bigger, but it should still be around the same area. Let me just maximize this real quick. Okay, so the sessions is actually higher. It's like way up here, Christian. It's because the candles closed differently. So if you look over here during New York session of yesterday, this was like the high point for it on the 1 minute because the price was kind of jumpy yesterday. Yeah, I mean, it's all good though. It's good it's good that you use it to identify where the sessions are. But for our entries here with regard to the, you know, obviously the red flags, we're just going to focus on like what we have here on the 1 minute. Because if we look on every time frame, then we're never going to take a trade, right? Because there's going to be red flags everywhere. So I would recommend just following the red flags where you're specifically trading. Yeah, no problem. All right, so there's nothing going on here still, guys. We still have this back and forth movement. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if price comes right back down to opening price. See right here where price faked out. Price broke above the structure, it faked out. Now it's coming right back down. Wouldn't be surprised if it comes back to opening price right here. Let's see, some more profits over here from Patricia. So Patricia is currently up 3,260 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. Eunice over here said he didn't take anything yet. He's glad. Yeah, no, smart decision right there, Eunice, because like there's no need to force anything today. You understand how risky it kind of is. Jay over here with some profits for the day. He's currently up 704. Nice win, Jay. All wins for the day. Solid profits right there. And think that's it for right now. Some more profits from CSUK here. CSUK's currently up 3,834 for the day, all wins. Nice work, CSUK. Taking trades in both directions, basically. All right, so let's see if we finally have a direction here. Looks like price is still continuing to push to the upside, so maybe this might be a good sign that we might have some sort of direction, but at the moment, there's just nothing for us to take right now. Market's kind of volatile, it just keeps bouncing around a lot. But if price can hold its area right here above the sessions, then, or above the pivots and whatnot, then we possibly will have a bullish trend here. Some profits from Dijon. Dijon's currently up 1,055 for the day. Nice work, Dijon. He took buys and sells earlier today. So it looks like a lot of you guys here actually did take the variation scalp, which is a good thing, because that was a mistake. But Dijon over here is currently up 1,055 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Dijon. Looks like he might have taken the breakout this morning. Jalon said he used super low risk to eat up 800 pips at DD and it came back up. Nice. Yeah, so Jalon over here, he actually used a small lot size, and he held on to that trade from earlier today, and it actually came all the way back up, which is what I was expecting, because I already had a bullish bias from this morning, right? So you guys can see right here that price just pretty much faked out to the bottom, because we were in the buy earlier right here, right? This is the trade that we lost, unfortunately. We lost the trade right here. It didn't really drop that much. Like, it dropped a pretty good amount, but it didn't drop enough to like really make the reversal. And you can see here that we just got caught in that fake out. So we kind of just got screwed right here. This was just, you know, shitty timing. It just happened. Sometimes this will happen where you guys get caught in like a bad trade, but realistically, this should have been avoided because it was at the opening price. So if I would have just avoided this, we would have avoided the loss. So I take the blame for that. But realistically, you guys can see how price just faked out. Price came down, faked out, and then it came right back up. So when it came right back up and knocked out the TP. So I think this right here was just temporary push to the downside, and then it just pushed right back up. Looking at where price is currently at right now, it's bouncing off the sessions. So yeah, and there's a pivot rejection right here too that Glenn mentioned. Nice work, Glenn. I don't know if you caught it, but if you did, it looks like you made a pretty nice TP off there. But it's bouncing off the sessions right here. Another red flag. Yeah, we'll see where this ends up going. But yeah, price corrected back to where we anticipated. So initially this morning, we were looking for buys. Price faked down below, came right back up, and it's where it's supposed to be. So we just got caught in a bad trade earlier. So not too bummed about it. It's just, you know, I got to move with the mistakes. But yeah, like I was mentioning earlier, guys, you know, if we follow the criteria and we make sure we're not trading where the red flags are, we have almost all wins. Every time we lose a trade, it's usually my fault because I usually miss something. I miss news price, or I miss opening price, or I forget to turn on my sessions indicator, and then we end up taking a bad trade, and it's like, it's something that could have been avoided. That's why I have these red flags up here. A lot of people don't like following the red flags, but you know, the red flags are there for a reason. It helps prevent you from entering risky trades. So yeah, just keep that in mind whenever looking for entries. Sometimes it's going to slip. It just happens. All right, so back to the time frames over here, the higher 10, 5, and 1. It's currently bullish, as you guys can see. So we're obviously looking for buys here. In order for another setup to line up here, we need to see a retracement momentum signal. If we get a retracement momentum signal, that's going to be a momentum scalp failure setting up. And then from there, you know, we'll see if price continues to push up or if it ends up coming back down. But here's a clean chart. I'll just clean this up a little bit here. As you guys can see, price is now pushing up. It has some sort of direction here, but the direction that we're looking for is for this to keep pushing up higher. So push to the upside, retracement, and continuation up. So that's kind of what we're looking for here. If we can get this, then great. If not, then we just got to sit tight and wait. So there goes a retracement right there, possible momentum signal, but it is rejecting off the sessions. So obvious red flag. Price rejected off the pivot right there. Check the 5. There goes. Price comes up and retests the sessions. But yeah, looking over here on the 5, 10, and 1, we currently have a bullish trend. So overall trend right now is bullish. We're looking for a buy. The only problem is we have a bunch of red flags up here. We have the New York high price and Asia high price. So we need price to get past those for us to take any entries. There's my yawn indicator. Slow market. Not really slow market, but just no direction. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat, guys. I just got to sit tight because there's nothing for us to take right here. Until price gets past the sessions up here, there's like really nothing we could do. Yeah, C6 of the yawn indicator is real. Yeah, there's nothing going on, so there's no reason to force anything right now, guys. There isn't even any speculative moves either, because you can see there's really no wick rejections off these points. There goes price pushes above. So, this just goes to show that the initial analysis played out perfect. The only problem is that we got caught in the fake out earlier this morning. So if you guys remember from this morning, we were looking for price to push up. So just rewinding this is a clean chart. This is the setup that we were looking for. Push up, retracement, continuation, right? The only problem is that we got caught in the like super heavy pullback right here because price ended up pulling back down here. But then you can see from this point, it just corrects all the way back up to where it's supposed to be. Because this is technically where price was supposed to be to begin with. So we just got caught in a bad swing to the downside and it came right back up for correction. And there we go as price pushes up higher. That's one thing that you guys got to understand with the market. So like the thing that I want to like remind you guys is that you can never be 100% with your analysis, right? Your analysis is going to be back and forth. Sometimes your initial analysis will play out just at a later time. But there's always going to be times like this where you're just going to get like it's kind of like a black swan movement, right? Like you don't really anticipate something like this to happen, but then it ends up correcting back up to where it's supposed to be, where you anticipated price to go. I wouldn't say it's an actual black swan event, because like a black swan event is like when something crazy happens where like things drop like 5,000 pips, like during COVID. That's a black swan event. This thing only dropped like less than 1,000, so it wasn't necessarily huge drop from that point. Yeah, no, AR said, don't blame yourself, Sean. It's up to us and our responsibility to take a trade or not. Yeah, no, it's and I agree with you. It's it's everyone's responsibility, but it was on my mind. It was something that I should have analyzed more, because I'm taking the blame for myself, because I'm like, man, that was like such an easy thing to look out for, but I totally overlooked the opening price. It's probably because I didn't have my caffeine this morning either. I'm kind of lazy. I wasn't expecting to take any trades today because there was no news. So like a couple of things here that kind of pointed out to me where I was thinking, okay, there's not going to be any trades today, because there was like no news, like no real news actually, aside from Fed member Bowman speaking at 6:45. Wait, what the heck? Bowman was actually speaking at 6:45. Let me check what time was that. I missed that too, actually. Is that from today? There's no way that's from today. Okay, so I made a lot of mistakes today, guys. I just want to point that out. So I didn't realize that Fed member Bowman is also speaking today. I marked up 7 o'clock news, but I didn't mark up this right here at 6:45. So there was actually news happening today too. Yeah, and our entry here came up at like 6:42. It's all good. You live and you learn. Yeah, Maddie said it's all good. It happens. Today's a weird day. Yeah, that's probably why. Okay, so now it kind of makes sense why price pushed up right here, because like Bowman started speaking at 6:45. Well, he was scheduled to speak at 6:45. He probably didn't have anything to say until like 10 minutes into his speech. So, okay, I can see why price is pushing right back up now, because I was trying to figure out why was price pushing up from this point, but like price was coming down, and then Bowman spoke here at 6:45, and you can see from this point, price started to push all the way back up. It just corrected back up to where it's supposed to go. So, all right, now this is making sense. I was trying to decipher like why is price way back up here, but now it makes sense because Bowman was speaking over here at 6:45. He's probably speaking for like 30 minutes or so. Totally missed it. And Barkin was speaking at 5:30. So we had a couple of Fed members speaking today. It wasn't just one or two, or just one. There was two of them. So on my FX book, or sorry, on Forex Factory, Bowman was speaking at 6:45, and then on my FX book, pre-market, Barkin was speaking too. So today's kind of a weird day. There's a lot of like random news events that are coming up and just bouncing around. But okay, it makes sense why price pushed up so heavily. Yeah, Natasha said we can look for buys. Yeah, no, definitely looking for buys over here right now. Yeah, no, Malcolm said no FOMO Friday. Yeah, no, definitely no FOMO today. I'm still looking for an entry though, guys. So don't worry that if we find something here, I'm going to take it, but we just don't have anything here yet. So going back to the requirement. So looking at requirement number one, first you want to confirm the overall trend. Obviously right here, everything's bullish. 5 minutes bullish, 10 minutes bullish, 1 minute's bullish. Everything's bullish here, right? So we're looking for buys here. Second criteria is to look for a retracement momentum signal. So basically what we're looking for next is we're looking for a sell signal to come up over here. Once we have that sell signal, we'll be looking to write it back up further. So we're pretty much just waiting for the sell signal to come up here. The only problem is that it's right at the sessions. So even if we get a sell signal here, we probably won't be able to take it right away because of the sessions at the moment. Let's see, Natasha over here. Nice recovery, Natasha. So Natasha over here took the loss earlier this morning. She was down 1,108, but then she made it right back. She's been taking scalps along the way. She took a couple buys, total profit of 298. So solid recovery right there, Natasha. That's key. So great work right there with recovering from those losses. Yeah, good consistency too. Because you don't really get greedy. You kind of just waited for it, let it play out, and then made your way back into profit. So great work, Natasha. All right, so I guess we just got to wait for something here to play out. I mean, price is right at the session, so there's nothing for us to take right now. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put your questions in the chat. And then we'll see where this ends up, going. We still have about 30 minutes left till 8, guys, so we still got some time on the chart. Not too much going on though. Price is now pulling back below the sessions, but we are looking for a buy here. So we have a possible momentum scalp failure coming up right here. There's a sell signal. Only problem here is that price is in between the sessions. So this right here is technically a momentum scalp failure entry, but again, as I mentioned, it's right at the session, so it's not necessarily the best area to trade in. So it looks like that would have hit TP. If you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, it's fine because it's right at the session, so it would be a red flag. So I'm just being more cognizant of like what's going on, because earlier I didn't really look at this here, but you can see it's right at the sessions. So clean that up. If price pushes up and closes above the pivots, it's going to be a momentum scalp variation. So this entry that I marked up right here, guys, this was a momentum scalp failure. The next entry to come up is a momentum scalp variation, but it's right at these red flags right here. So I don't think it's something that we could possibly take. If the green candle closes above, it's technically going to be an entry, but we just can't take it because obviously the red flags here are still in place. See, Natasha said, thanks, Sean, learn from the best. Definitely, Natasha. Sam said that initially Bowman was supposed to speak 45 minutes before open, but it looks like he got moved. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Sam. So I'm not hallucinating. Because I remember when we looked at the session earlier this morning, or we looked at the news earlier this morning, I thought Bowman was speaking at like 5:45, right? So that's why I didn't really identify this, but it looks like it did get moved. So I guess in the future, maybe we'll keep looking at the news price because sometimes it does change like that. It doesn't happen very often, but it'd be good to keep an eye out for it just in case, because that could be another reason for us to avoid entries at that time. Scrolling down real quick. So Christian's asking, Sean, how do you determine stop loss and TP use? I know it depends on volatility, but what are your requirements? I mean, there aren't really requirements. It's just like what you mentioned, depends on volatility, right? So let me see if I could find an example here. So for example, of this one right here, right? For this one, if this was an official entry, we just go back to that right there for a momentum scalp failure, right? If you were to take an entry like this, you'd set it up. And initially you'll start with a 25.50, right? So this right here, I mean, this looks like it could be fine. But the reason I marked it up with a 1030 was because it would have to cut into the sessions, right? So that's the main reason right there. That's why I use a 1030, but normally it would be a 25.50. Because the range right here, you're basing it on volatility. Price is so far out, you're expecting it to push up at least back to this point, right? At least back to where the high's at. So for this here, you'd use a 25.50, but the criteria that I would have used here, like for the people who are entering, was I don't want to get too close to the sessions here because that's where manipulation happens. So I would have pulled out before, but typically it'd be a 25.50. Scrolling down below, let me see if I can find another entry here where there's another example. Okay, so here's an example of, I know it's not an actual entry, but looking at this right here, Christian, see how there's a momentum scalp entry right here? So you'd initially start with a 25.50. This is too far out, right? Look at the volatility. So it's pretty clear, like it's night and day. Like right here, you can see where the stop loss is like way past the movement. So in the past, let's see, from this point right here up to here, this is like 30 minutes. In the past 30 minutes, price has not pushed 500 pips. It's not pushed 25 points either. So for this right here, you use a 1030 because it makes sense, right? So, I mean, there's no one way to identify it, but if you do it enough, you start to realize that, okay, this right here is way too big of a move. Like obviously you're not going to use a TP stop loss this wide. And this is pre-market too at 6 o'clock. If you're trading pre-market, obviously you're going for a smaller move. So right here, this looks like a better entry. Obviously that one hits. I don't know if the 25.50 works, but yeah, because the volatility here is too low. Look how price just keeps going back and forth. You'd be holding on to this position for like an hour. So it just depends on market volatility. There's no strict criteria. It's just you look at the charts. What looks better? Does the 25.50 look better or the 1030 look better? So I would go with the I mean, depending on where price is currently at, I would go with the 1030. And then if not, if there's like a big range, like if price is moving super heavily, like right here, Christian. So see how price is going up and down. If price keeps going up and down like that, then obviously, you don't want to use a 1030 because you need to have enough cushion for price to really bounce around if that's what's happening. Yeah, exactly. Christian said, yeah, because you want to avoid areas of manipulation, 100%. Yeah, no problem, Christian. Well, I could clear that up for you. And that's a good question because I feel like a lot of people get confused about that as well. So it just depends on like where price is currently at. Right now, specifically, guys, there's still no entries for us. There's a momentum scalp variation that came up right here, but it was right at the session. So no entry there, unfortunately, but that was technically a momentum scalp variation. see, it's 7:30 right now. Still got 30 minutes till 8. Let me scroll up real quick. Let's see, D said, got to handle some business today. Hope you guys have a good weekend. Happy hunting. Definitely, D. We'll see you back here on Monday. Question from Alana. Alana is asking, do you have any trade psychology tips for bouncing back from a red day? I sometimes ruminate and it makes my subsequent trading days worse. So the thing with that, Alana, is that you have to come back with like a clear mind, right? So the reason why you're still stuck and, you know, it kind of like lingers into the following days is because you're still stuck on that loss from the previous day. Like, I think the main thing to do, or the main thing to get you out of that rut, is really having a win. Because if you have a win following that, then you're going to feel comfortable about taking trades again, right? Because you're just stuck on that last trade. If your next trade's a win, then your next trade after that, you're going to feel confident about taking another win, right? So for me personally, I think with regard to trade psychology, I'd probably take another entry using whatever strategy you're applying, but take it with a smaller lot size. So like, for example, if I'm taking 100 lot, right? I'm going to take it with maybe a 50 lot or even a 25 lot. So I'll just use like a smaller lot size, and then I'll let that trade hit. And then if you still don't feel comfortable, then take another trade with a small lot size, right? I know it's going to suck because you're going to make less profit, but with the profit targets hitting, it's going to rebuild your confidence because you're just still stuck on that loss. Once you have enough confidence and you're like, okay, I don't feel bad anymore about that last trade, then you can just, you know, go back to your normal lot size. So I think that's probably like the best way to bounce back from a loss. If you're not comfortable with like taking a normal lot size, for me, obviously it's different because, you know, this is all like clockwork to me. It's like I'm a natural at like just bouncing back from a loss if it does happen. So I don't really have to do anything like that. But for, you know, the newer trader or the beginner trader or someone that doesn't have trade psychology down, it's you really have to like control your mind to like not get caught up on things like that. Like, because then at that point you'll be too scared to take anything. Or in the worst scenario is you start revenge trading, right? So I think it's better that for you feel scared to take a trade versus having the idea of revenge trading. Because I feel like with a lot of other people, it's the complete opposite. When they lose a trade, they just get mad and they want to keep taking more trades and they end up eating up more losses. But for you, at least, like, you're scared to take a trade, so you're not really taking more losses. You're kind of just scared to hop into the next one. So yeah, probably lower your lot size or even trade on a demo account. So trade on a demo account and just take trades like, you know, whatever you feel like taking. It doesn't even have to be based off your strategy. You could just take trades, and then once you lock in a couple of wins, it'll build up your confidence. Here, so let me see where we're at. Let me scroll up real quick. Oh yeah, thanks, CT. So Monday's actually a holiday, guys. Monday's President's Day. It's a federal holiday. Banks are going to be closed. Markets going to be closed. So no trading on Monday. Yeah, Monday the 20th, bank holiday for the US, President's Day. So we won't be back on Monday. I'll be back for the mentoring session, but not for the live session because the market's going to be closed. Let's see, Christian said momentum scalp hit for a 25.50. Yeah, there was a momentum scalp right here, guys. So there's a couple entries that came up. So let me put all the strategies up here again. So for the first strategy, we had a momentum scalp failure, this red candle right here, right? Overall trend is bullish. We had a retracement momentum signal right here on this red candle. Volume was below average. So this right here was a momentum scalp failure, and it hit its full TP. Unfortunately, we couldn't take it because it was right at the red flags right here, right at the session. So we couldn't take any trades right there specifically. The next trade that came up was this green candle right here. This was a momentum scalp variation. So overall trend, we already confirmed that it was bullish. Momentum aligned with all the time frames. There was a retracement momentum signal right here. Price pulled below the pivots. It pulled back above the pivots right there. And then you were to enter the trade right there for momentum scalp variation. Unfortunately, again, it was at the red flag, so we couldn't take a trade there. Lastly, there was a momentum scalp that came up right here, right? So confirm overall trend. It was bullish on all three time frames. Confirm momentum. It's a gold bar, so we know that momentum was bullish on the 10, 5, and 1. And you'd make the entry right here for another full TP. I think for these here specifically, Christian, I'd probably use a smaller TP stop loss. I don't know if I'd use Well, here, let's see. So the entry would have came up right here. Actually, no, I think this is fine. It's within like 15 minutes. So like this bigger movement happened within 15 minutes. If it was like farther out, like earlier, like 30 minutes out, then I'd probably use a smaller TP stop loss. But this here did meet criteria for using the 2550. I typically want to start with the 2550, and then if I need to, I'll just make adjustments to make it a 100 and 300. So, all right, guys, there's not really much else for us to take over here. I mean, price is still pushing up, so we still have a bullish bias, but now the strategies are resetting. So we already have all three of these lined up. The next one to come up again is going to be a momentum scalp failure. So we're just waiting for this one here to play out. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I took that pre-market trade today, and I took actually another trade last night. So kind of offset my losses for today. So I think I'm down like maybe like 3 for the day so far, but I was up for the week. So I'm still net positive for this week. It's just for the day for that one specific trade kind of knocked me down a little bit. Let's see what else I'm missing here. All right, so Matty over here said he caught the high-low scalp. If you guys are familiar with that strategy, there's a high-low scalp right there. Overall bias is bullish. There's a high-low right here. Price broke and closed past it. Matty took that for a quick high-low scalp. And it looks like it went straight to profit target. So if you guys took it, great. If you guys didn't, obviously it's fine. But nice work right there, Maddie. Maddie caught it, and Natasha caught it as well. She said she's done for the day. Yeah, solid work, Maddie. Here's Vincent. He took the buy earlier today. Total profit of 75.86. Nice work, Vincent. Patrick said, I like to end the day week in blue. I'm done for the day. Nice work, Patrick. Yeah, so Patrick over here took a couple trades. Total profit of 2,422 for the day. Solid work right there, Patrick. All right, not bad. We have Natasha over here. Great recovery. So like she took that loss earlier this morning, guys, and then she bounced right back. So she was at negative 2,000. Now she's up in positive profit 1,002. So solid work right there, Natasha. Great recovery. And a great way to close out the trading day for you specifically if you decide to wrap it up for the day. So I'm still looking for a sell signal here, guys. Once we get a sell signal, it'll set up for a momentum scalp failure. We have a pending sell signal right here, but we'll see where it ends up closing. I'm just waiting for the strategies to reset again. See, Sisuk over here, 4,484 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Sisuk. Sisuk again right here, 5,134, all wins as well. We have Rashida over here. She said stops entered her late, no green strips, and profit is profit. So yeah, Rashida over here currently up 301 for the day. Nice work, Rashida. Looks like she has one loss right there, but she made it right back. So total profit of 301 for the day. Great work, Rashida. We got Cameron over here. Cameron's currently up 10,232. Nice work, Cameron. Some losses right there, but he bounced right back on these next trades. Big win over here, though. All right, solid work so far, guys. Looks like majority of you guys already climbed your way out of that hole from earlier today. So again, sorry for that horrible trade that I gave you guys with regard to the momentum scalp variation that should have been avoided. But it looks like a lot of you guys here made your way back. So I'm glad to see a lot of you guys here are taking trades. I mean, there hasn't been any official trades, but you guys have been taking trades, based off the analysis here. So Cameron over here, you can see his losses. He has some pretty big losses right here, but then he kept holding on and moving his way back up. Total profit of 10,232 for the day. So great work right there, Cameron. Yeah, my losses are offset right now because I took that pre-market trade. I took a trade last night. So I'm technically only down like a little bit right now. I'm down like, I should have been down less. if I used a 300 pip stop loss like I was planned to, I would have only lost 3,000 and I'd be in the negative maybe like 1,000 right now. But unfortunately, I used a bigger TP stop loss, and I think I'm down like negative 2,000, which isn't horrible, but it could be better. And that's just for the day. For the week, I'm still up, so it's not a big deal. All right, so price over here is coming back down. Let's see, some more profits from Vincent. Nice. Yeah, so Vincent over here said another month in heavy positive profit for the win. Solid. So it looks like he's getting his payout coming up soon. Yeah, so FTMO, congratulations, Vincent, on finishing your trading month in profit. Great work, Vincent. Vincent's killing it. You're probably going to see Vincent on the top traders leaderboard on FTMO again for this following month. So great work right there, Vincent. I'm still using small lot sizes. So as you guys have seen from my account, I'm on a 400K account, but I'm using 100 lots still. So I'm probably not going to make the leaderboard this month, which is fine. It's based off percentages, right? So I think maybe next month I'll probably increase my my lot size, and then maybe I'll try to aim for that leaderboard the following month. Let's see, Medusa took a loss on our trade earlier, probably just going to call it a day. Just got my first payout from FTMO today. Have a great weekend, everyone. Definitely Medusa. So we'll see you back here on Tuesday. Great work on getting your first payout. You know, congrats to everybody here in the group who got funded over the past couple of months or the past couple of years and are getting consistent payouts. I mean, that's the main goal for me here, right? My goal here is to make sure that you guys are on the same level where you guys are getting funded, you guys are getting payouts, and you guys are getting consistent. Because the last thing I want for you guys to do, and this is what always happens, so it's crazy. This is what happens a lot in the group, is people will join the group, they'll get funded with me here, trading with me live or trading my strategies, and then they think that they know everything, so they end up and they start trading on their own, and then they end up blowing the account in that first month. So I don't want that to happen to anybody here. I want everybody to stay consistent and just stay on point. You know, stay in the group for as long as you guys need to, but you know, I think the group long term is a good move for you guys because it keeps you guys on point and it keeps you guys on track with meeting your criteria of staying consistent. Because it's hard. Like if you guys start to trade by yourself, you guys will see that it becomes like trading becomes way harder because you have no accountability. You're kind of just doing your own thing, and there's nobody really watching over like what you're doing, and you're not really like happy trading without a community. So yeah, great work, Madhu. Yeah, because it's funny. Like you guys will see a lot of people in the group. They'll get funded and then they'll leave, and then a month later you'll see them back in the group. And I only know this because, you know, we've been running this group for like years now, and I've been trading live for like 5 years now. You see a lot of familiar faces come and go. And you know why they come back, because they realize that it's difficult to trade without the group. All right, so we don't have anything here to take just yet, guys. I mean, price is coming back down kind of heavy. Natasha's asking where's Steven. Honestly, I don't know. He's taking a break. I mean, he's still around though. I know he's around because he messaged me on Sunday. He asked me if the markets were closed because of the Super Bowl. I was like, no, Super Bowl is not a holiday. So I don't see him here in the group, but I know he's around. He's because he just messaged me on like Sunday asking if the markets were closed for Super Bowl. But I think Steven is he needs to get a grip of like his issues with trading. So I think that's why he's kind of just sticking to himself, because I think he messes around in the chat sometimes too much, or in the live session, and it kind of messes him up with his trading. So yeah, C6 said, yeah, the Super Bowl closes the markets. Yeah, no, he'll be back though. He said he's just busy right now. Like he's been following us and he's been seeing everyone's results, and he's been happy for everybody, but he's kind of just getting his thoughts together at the moment. Because with trading, guys, you know, it's all about psychology. If you guys don't have your mindset proper, then it's going to be hard to really find consistency trading. Because if you're trading off greed, it's like, it's never going to end well. Hey, Barack, how's it going? Yeah, no, you made it. And we have about like maybe 15 minutes till 8. So made it to the last little bit of this session here. Yeah, Barack said late to the session, but he had taken a few, now tuned in. So total profit over here from Barack, 3,560 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Barack. Yeah, no, definitely. Better late than never. I don't think there's anything else for right now, guys. So if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, it's getting close to 8 o'clock and I don't really see anything happening from now until then, but we'll keep looking at the charts. All right, Gary, we'll see you back here on Tuesday. Have a great weekend. Yeah, it looks like some people here are getting off for now, but we'll keep looking for any possible entries here. All right, so price is starting to shift back down, as you guys can see. The 5-minute is now right in between the pivots. So here we are again, guys, with the clean chart. As you guys can see, there's no direction here, like pretty much all day. Market opened right here at 6:30, price faked out to the bottom, pushed back up, faked out, pushed back below, faked out, came back above here. Another fake out, and I wouldn't be surprised if price comes right back down to opening price. So, I mean, it's just a continuation of fake outs and not really much going on in the market. So we'll see if price comes back to opening price. I mean, that's probably like the idea here. But I mean, who knows? We'll see. See some profit from Sam. Sam just posted up his profits. Let's see. Nice work, Sam. So Sam's currently up 370 for the day. Great work, Sam. For a Friday, not too bad. Wesley said from London session, couldn't catch anything from New York. So during London session over here, Wesley locked in a total profit of 520 for the day. Nice work, Wesley. Yeah, and so here's the thing, guys. Like when you guys have profits to post up or even losses, you know, feel free to post up your losses, whether to me directly or in the group, because this is going to help you guys with your accountability. Like Wesley over here has been posting his profits to me like almost every day, and you can see his consistency here. He's been doing great. Passed his challenge right here. Consistent wins every single day. So what happens is if you guys don't send in your profits, you guys aren't really keeping yourself accountable, right? Whether you like it or not, you might not think that's happening, but this keeps you accountable. Because if you guys post up your profits every day, like, you know, if you look at the profits here, there's the same people posting profits every day, and you know they're doing well because they're keeping themselves accountable. Like Cameron over here sends me his profits every day. He made 10,000 today, 10,000 yesterday. If he keeps doing this, then what do you think he's expecting to hit tomorrow? Another 10,000, right? Same with Rashida. She sends me her profits basically every day. She locks in like a couple $100. This will keep her in track and in line with like, okay, this is where her threshold is, right? She needs to make around this much profit to like keep it consistent. Same with CSUK. You guys can see CSUK locked in 5,000 today. The day before that, how much did CSUK lock in? 8,000, right? February 16. What about February 15? What did CSUK lock in on this day? CSUK locked in 6,000, right? So it keeps you guys on track. You know, I know sometimes it's kind of embarrassing, like you guys don't want to send in your losses or your trades at all, because you guys don't want to show that you're revenge trading or over trading. But if you guys send in your profits in your accounts, it's gonna help you guys understand. Like if you guys keep losing every day and you guys send in your trades, you're gonna realize like, okay, this is why I'm losing, because I'm revenge trading or over trading or taking bad trades, and that's the way to get better. If you guys don't want to do that and you guys are still shy, I recommend documenting your trades. So create an Excel sheet. I don't have mine up here, but I used to have an Excel sheet where I'd mark up all my trades, and then from there I can identify, you know, where my problems are. So there's a lot of different ways to get better at trading, guys. It's just you have to like make the effort to get better, whether it's documenting, sharing your trades, sharing your account, sharing your profits, etc. You know, I'm here to help you. So If you guys send me your profits every day, I'll give you a comment, whether it's a good comment or a bad comment, and it'll just help you guys get better every single day. All right, some more profits over here from Justin. Justin said a little slippage on the stop loss, but it's all good. Yeah, so Justin over here, I'll let that load up and then I'll pull it up. We have Maddie over here. Yeah, so Maddie is red for the week, which is completely fine, right? So, you know, with the back and forth week here, this is fine because it could have been a lot worse, right, Maddie? So this is Maddie being transparent and being real with himself. This isn't necessarily be real with me, it's to be real with himself. Because, you know, if you guys don't look at these losses, you guys are never gonna get over that that hump. Because you guys got to understand that losses do happen. Yeah, exactly. Natasha said it does help 100%. Here's Kenny over here. So Kenny locked in total profit of 535 for the day. Nice work, Kenny. Yeah, solid work right there. See if I drop this in here. I can download it. All right. Yeah, Maddie said price is probably going to go to open. That's kind of what I see happening right here too, Maddie. That's pretty much what I see happening over here. So target price point is probably going to be opening price. I already marked it up right there. So it's kind of where I expect price to go down to. But all right, guys, it's getting close to 8. It's 7:52 right now. So we have about 8 minutes till 8. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, looks like we'll be wrapping this up pretty soon. Unfortunately, we had one loss today. I don't think no wins today, just one loss. And that loss was an accident. It was my bad. But it's all good. It happens. You know, you just got to roll with it and then move on to the next opportunity. So although today wasn't a good day at all, you know, we still have the whole year ahead of us, guys. It's still February. I mean, we're still doing pretty good overall. I think for this week so far, we're actually still in profit for the week. It's just for this day. It's like slightly red. But for the week, we had a couple wins. Let me go over here real quick and just scroll up. So we had one loss today, is like the only loss for this week. And then we had a win yesterday with this momentum scout variation. And then we had another win over here for momentum scout. So we got 2 wins this week so far. Is that it? Yeah, a lot of my trades here happen pre. Actually, we have more wins. So we're actually pretty up this week. So we have 3 wins right here. This is from Monday, and 4 wins. All right, so this week actually wasn't too bad. 5 wins actually. Okay, so 5 wins. So for this week so far, guys, we have 5 wins and 1 loss. So it's actually a pretty decent week. It's just we had wins on Monday. The middle of the week was kind of choppy, so there was nothing for us to take, and then we had 1 loss today. So 5 wins and 1 loss for this week so far. Let's see, Alana over here. Nice work, Alana. Yeah, so she said she's going to start sending these in. Yeah, no, this is good. This will keep you consistent. So like the thing is, when you send me your trades and profits, Alana, you'll have your list of profits right here, right? So you can see everything. So like whenever you want to go back and just check your consistency, just pull up our chat and then you can pull it up. So nice work over here on Alana's side. She took a couple of trades here, you know, some profit and 2 losses in the previous days. This is what she was just mentioning earlier, where she needs to bounce back from this, and it's completely fine. You know, you're doing okay. It's just you got to get your mindset back, right? So great work right there, Alana. I know you had a loss for today and yesterday, but you know those losses aren't going to last. Like you're going to bounce back from as time passes by. You know, this is something like what Rashida does. Like if you look at my chat here with Cameron, so Cameron today 10,000, Cameron yesterday 10,000, Cameron the day before that 6,000. Cameron the day before that 8,000. So you guys can see, like Cameron, if he ever wants to go back and look at his profits or his consistency, he just pulls up our chat and he scrolls up and he's like, okay, like this is how much profit I've been locking. And you guys can see how he's been progressing. So like last year or earlier this year, he was locking in like maybe like, you know, 1,000 right here, like 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, and then he's progressing higher 2,000s. 1,000 right there. And then now he starts to lock in more, 1,200, 1,500, 7,000 right here. And then now he's having like $10,000 days. right? So just, keep it up, guys. Other than that, I don't really see anything else for us to enter right here. If you guys have any other questions, drop them in the chat. Here we go with Becky, I believe, right? Becky's currently up 137.65. Nice work right here. Just one small loss. Looks like that might have been a little close. Might have just moved your stop loss up a little too close, but it's all good. You technically have like all wins here. Total profit of 137 for the day. So solid work right there, Becky. Great consistency. You got to stay on that trading plan. Oh, gotcha. Okay, so Alana's profits, these are just from today. So she had a couple wins and then a couple losses, but overall she's in profit for the day. So doing good. Let's see, Natasha over here. Yeah, Natasha's currently at 1,314. She said she's now really done. So good work, Natasha. Solid consistency making your way around. All right, here we go. As price continues to drop lower and lower. Volatility is starting to die down a lot, guys. So if you guys go over here on the 1 minute, you guys can see that the volatility here is starting to flatten out. So with it flattening out like that, there's just not really much for us to look at. Natasha said, I'm getting better and better. Have a good weekend, everybody. Yeah, definitely, Natasha. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. So, all right, guys, it's getting close to 8 and the volume is dying down significantly. So I don't think there's going to be any more entries for us to take here. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I think price will probably continue dropping down, possibly to, obviously retest the opening price, but there's not really much else for us to take and follow here. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, looking at where price is currently at here, I mean, looking at the 1 hour, huge wick rejection right there. Looking at the 30-minute, huge wick rejection right there as well. I think price may continue to drop down. I think target price point is going to be opening price, like I mentioned earlier, right here. But the volume here is super dead, so there's not really much going on. I think eventually price will drop lower, but if you look at price right now, there's just nothing going on. Volume super low, so not really worth the risk. Yeah, definitely, Christian. So Christian said, have a good weekend, guys. Thanks again, Sean. Definitely, Christian. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Question from Karen. Karen's asking, will the mentoring session still be held on Monday? Yes. So I do plan on holding it on Monday, Karen. If anything comes up and I don't end up holding it, I'll let you know. But for the most part, I'm still planning on holding that mentoring session on Monday. So if anything, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. You guys can email me, sean@kodikaitrades.com, or you guys can message me on Telegram. Telegram is probably the fastest way to get in touch with me because I'm typically on Telegram all day answering other questions. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I think it's probably best to just sit out the rest of the market today because there's just nothing for us to take and the volatility is starting to die down. But if you are looking to trade, I think target price point for me here, where I'm looking for things to go down, is going to be opening price right here. Just a reminder, Monday's a holiday. It's a bank holiday, President's Day. So no trading on Monday for the live session, but I will be on for the mentoring session at our usual time, 2 p.m. But other than that, I think that's it, guys. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. Be safe. And then I'll see you guys back here on Monday for the mentoring session. If you guys aren't there, I'll see you guys back here on Tuesday as we officially kick off the trading week for the next week of February. So, all right, guys.